So this is the Boss DR-5. The display is a bit hard to see. Best viewed at an angle. So you can play on the frets. And it shows you position on the frets and on the piano. So it's basically laid out like a guitar fretboard. These are the open strings. These are first fret, second fret, da da da. So if I want to play a blues scale, then you can have a fret shift. Even while you hold a chord. Then you can have, since these are not velocity sensitive, you can have an accent. Like 3 levels of accent. Or you can have hold the note. Or staccato. And then you have chord mode, which is different than the frets. You enable it here. So the lower set of buttons is the root note, the upper set of buttons is the chord type. So if I go on E, so these are preset chord types, but you can change actually the assignment. When you press the button, you can choose a different chord type for that key. And you can also choose a variation. So variations inside that chords. So basically that's 15 times 15. How much is it? I don't know. A lot of chords. And you can also assign a user chord. I think there's only one user-defined chord. This comes with 200 preset patterns and 200 user patterns. Some are useful, some are shit. If I go, for example, for the metal one, and the fun thing is there are predefined kits, like 40 kits that you can switch on the fly. Kits. And there are 20 user kits, 15 user kits you can define yourself. Basically on a user kit you can select, I mean you have 4 tracks, a drum track, and 3 instrument tracks, which are not defined here, so they don't work. Take a different one. Nothing works. Let's see why. Track 1, I think we are in chord mode. Yeah, sorry. In chord mode the frets don't work. So what kind of sounds do we have? Let's check some instruments. Piano. Piano 2. Honky. quite good for early 90s. If you go on the drum check, you can select the sound per pad. Maple kick. Let's go through all the kicks. Volume. (808), (909), tight kick, snares. Covers everything basically. You can modify the sounds a bit. Say you have this snare, you can change the pitch. Can change the decay. Panning, left, right. Volume, of course. This doesn't apply. Then for instruments, you can also define parameters. Piano. Why is there no pitch? I don't know. Decay. Panning, volume, octave shift. Yeah, you can for each of the tracks. For each of the tracks you can set an octave shift. Align, yeah, guitar scale, bass, or you can have different or vertical pad assignments. So it's not all guitar fret, you can change it per track. So how do you record something? Go on a pattern and we can set the time signature. First we must go on a user pattern. The time signature also equals the length. So 1/4 is only 1 bar, 4 bars up to 16 bars. Let's go with the standard 4. Hit record. We have a click. The click can be turned off also. So if I go here and I would record this type of note. So you want to practice, you go on the tempo page, then it doesn't record. Switch off the tempo. And you can change the quantization on the fly. Let's quantize to full notes. Of course you can also do chords in this mode. Let's get a different track. And you can also record stuff like Let's delete this. Can also record stuff like connectivity. You have mono audio output left or stereo left right. Input volume for the guitar input, which also does guitar to MIDI or audio to MIDI. A stereo jack for foot switch, MIDI in, MIDI out. And here also a separate TRS headphone jack and volume. That's about all for the basics. It's a very fun and unique machine. They don't make them like this anymore.